For millions of years, this creature existed only as stone. A fossil pressed into rock, a shadow from a world before humans, before cities, before mammals ruled the land. Scientists believed its story had ended with the dinosaurs. Then, one winter day in 1938, fishermen pulled something impossible from the sea. It was heavy, blue, armoured, and strangely familiar. When a museum curator saw it, she realised this was not an ordinary fish. It looked like a ghost from the fossil record, a creature science had already buried. This is the story of the coelacanth, the fish that came back from extinction. But the strangest part is not that it survived. The strangest part is where it was hiding. Long before the first forests grew tall, long before birds, whales, or humans, ancient coelacanths were already moving through Earth's waters. Their lineage reaches back hundreds of millions of years. They lived through shifting continents, changing oceans, and mass extinctions.
Then, at some point, they disappeared from the fossil record. To science, that disappearance looked like an ending. For decades, textbooks treated the coelacanth as a creature of the past. Its fossils were studied like relics from a vanished world. Its body was strange, almost unfinished looking, with thick scales and fleshy fins that seemed to move like limbs. To some researchers, it felt like a clue from one of evolution's greatest transitions, the move from water to land. But the living animal was gone. Or at least, that was the belief. On December 22nd, 1938, a fishing trawler off South Africa brought in a strange catch.
Among the ordinary fish was a large blue animal with pale markings, a three-lobed tail, and fins unlike anything most people had seen. The fish was taken to the East London Museum. There, curator Marjorie Courtney Latimer saw it and knew something was wrong. She had studied fish before, but this one looked ancient. It looked like something that should not be breathing in the modern ocean. She contacted ichthyologist J.L.B. Smith, who later confirmed what she had suspected. The impossible fish was real. A coelacanth was alive. The discovery shocked the scientific world. It was not a dinosaur, it was not a sea monster, but in some ways, it was just as unsettling. Because it proved that the fossil record, as powerful as it is, does not show us everything. Some creatures can disappear from evidence without disappearing from existence. The coelacanth became what scientists call a Lazarus taxon, a lineage thought to be gone, only to reappear later. But this was not just a missing species. This was an animal with a body plan so old that it seemed to carry another age inside it. Its scales looked like armour. Its fins did not simply flap. They moved in a slow, alternating rhythm, almost like a creature walking through water. Its eyes were adapted for darkness. Its world was not the bright reef or the shallow shore. It lived deeper, in cold, dim water, along steep rocky slopes and hidden caves. During the day,
coelacanths shelter in underwater caverns. At night, they drift out to hunt. They do not chase like fast predators. They move slowly, saving energy, floating through darkness until prey comes close enough. In the deep ocean, survival does not always belong to the fastest animal. Sometimes it belongs to the one that can wait. For years after the first discovery, scientists searched for more.
And eventually, they found them near the Comoros Islands. Then, decades later, another living species was identified in Indonesia. The Coelacanth was not a single accident. It was a hidden survivor. But survival came with a cost. Modern coelacanths are rare. They grow slowly. They reproduce slowly. And newer studies suggest they may live almost as long as humans. Some females may carry young for years before giving birth. That means a population cannot recover quickly when individuals are lost. A fish that survived ancient catastrophes may now be threatened by a very modern danger: fishing lines, deep-sea nets, human expansion. The tragedy is almost impossible to ignore. For millions of years, this animal outlasted planetary change, but it may not outlast us. Still, the coelacanth's return changed something in science. It reminded researchers to be humble. The ocean is not empty just because we have not looked closely enough. Extinction is real. But absence from our records is not always proof of absence from the world. The coelacanth was never hiding from time. It was hiding from us. Deep in underwater caves, in cold blue darkness, an ancient fish kept moving. Generation after generation, century after century. While humans built civilizations, crossed oceans, and wrote the history of life from fossils, the coelacanth remained below, silent, unseen, alive.
And maybe that is why this fish feels so haunting. It is not a monster. It is not a myth. It is a reminder. Earth still has places where the past has not completely vanished. Places where the old world still breathes. So the question is not only how the coelacanth survived. The question is what else might be waiting in the dark. What other creatures have we already declared gone? What other chapters of life are missing from our records? And somewhere, far below the surface, could another impossible animal still be alive?